jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shri Gaurksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa No Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Shaghunath Shara Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Nama Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Braj Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Bharati Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Dāmodarāṣṭakam ki jai. Shri Satyavrat Muni ki jai. Shri Sanatana Goswami Pad ki jai. Shri Gurudeva ki jai. Oh, and today is Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtara Shata Shri Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Tadeva Shubhatira Bhaktiti ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hari Bo, Anandini Didi and Karkaraj ji, Dandavat Pranam. Hari Bo. So now we are continuing our reading of Shri Dāmodarāṣṭakam, and we are on the fourth verse, and we are reading, this morning we read Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad's commentary, and now we're going to be reading my Gurudev's commentary. So, and I'm doing a proofread now, so if you find any mistakes that I don't catch, please let me know, and I will add them into the book. And yeah, sometimes I'll be pausing to make corrections. Oops, one second. Change the mic. Haribol, Haribol. All right, where are we? Okay, so we're doing this verse. Varam, one second. Varam deva moksham. How does the melody go? 1 second. Anamamishwaram Sachiranandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. O Varam Deva Moksham Namokshavadim Onachanyam Vrineham Varesharapiha Idang Deva Purnata Gopala Balam Sada Me Manasyavi Rastam Kimayai Namamisharam Sachiranandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. O supremely effulgent and playful divinity, O Deva, I do not ask you for freedom from mortal suffering. So what's that? That is moksham, na moksham. I don't pray for moksham. And then va, I do not ask you for, nor do I ask for the ultimate limit of freedom. What is that? That's residence in Vaikuntha, the abode of extraordinary concentrated happiness. Va means or. So, Benedict, O Deva, moksham, nope, I don't want moksha. Or va, or moksha vadim. Moksha avadim. Avadim means the pinnacle, right? Yes, the pinnacle of moksha. What is the pinnacle of moksha? Is Vaikuntha Lok. So no, or nor that. Then let's continue reading from here. Nor do I seek any other benediction from you. So then what's that? That's na chanyam vrine ham. So vrine means I do not pray for. Aham means I. So I vrine, I do not pray for na chanyam. Cha means also or else, and anya means anything, like other. And I don't pray for anything else. And Vareshat is, this is, I don't pray from anything else from you. The Ishad, the Lord who bestows benedictions, right? Let's see, what does that mean? Vara Ishat. Vara Ishat means from you, the Supreme Controller who can grant any benediction. Vara Ishat, who can grant, the Isha who gives Vara, the Lord of benedictions. Idang te vapurnata gopala balam. Let's see. Oh, wait. So it says, nor do I seek any other benediction from you, even attaining bhakti characterized by Shravan, Kirtan, etc. Because that's even a superior thing than getting Gokul. I'm sorry, Vaikuntha Lok. Right? That's what we read in Sanatana Goswami's commentary. So even though as a supreme benefactor, you can easily grant all benedictions. You're Vara Ishat. O Lord of my life, may your beautiful form as Bal Gopal, a little cowherd boy in Vraj, always remain visible within my heart. Idang te vapur nata gopala. And then I have no use for any benediction other than this. So, O Nath, may your form, te means your, vapur, your form, as Gopala Balam, as Balam is like a child, is a little Gopal. May that sada, always, may, with inside, my manasi, my heart, avirastam, remain situated. Kim anyay. What is the use of anything else? Kim means what? Anyay, of anything else, of any other benediction. That's all I want. And as we read in the first prayer, he's asking to have darshan, but now he's actually asking directly. No, previous prayer was asking to be able to pray, right? Was asking for vandana, and this now is actually directly wanting. Anyways, so let's read the commentary of my Gurudev. Well, now that we know the words, let's just say the Sanskrit one more time. Just think of the meaning of all the words. Benedictions is varam, right? So varam deva moksham na mokshavadhimva na chanya vrineham vareshad apiha idang te vapur nata gopala balam sada me manasyavirastam kim anyay. Okay, so let's go over my Gurudev's commentary. Okay. Dig-darśinī-vṛtti. Up until now, she sat. Let me just check everything. Everything's running okay. Oops, what am I doing? All right. Up till now, Sri Satyavrat Muni has been describing the sweet pastimes of Sri Krishna, and specifically the pastimes characterized by Vatsalya Ras. Consequently, his heart has been melting, and he is becoming fully absorbed. Sri Krishna is not especially pleased with the prayers offered by Lord Brahma and the other demigods. On the other hand, if one sings about the pastimes of Sri Krishna's devotees, and especially about the pastimes of the Vrajavasis, then Krishna will not only be pleased, but he will even be controlled by them. Sri Satyavrat Muni then prayed, "O Damodar, your mother has so much affection for you, and above all others, you are by far her favorite. She is the very embodiment of boundless Vatsalya Prem for you. With profound motherly affection, she cares for you and nurtures you by considering you to be her dependent child. Naturally, just as a mother's qualities ordinarily appear in her children, her motherly quality of forgiveness and compassion also appears in you. Kindly ignore my faults. Kindly ignore my offenses, my sins, my anarthas, and my bad qualities, and just be pleased with me. Kindly just grant me your causeless mercy." It's really beautiful, huh? Just as a mother's qualities ordinarily appear in her children, her motherly quality of forgiveness and compassion also appears in you. So that's why we pray for mercy from Yashoda Krishna, Yashoda Nandan. It is as though Sri Krishna, being pleased by Sri Satyavrat Muni's prayer, had asked the sage to accept his desired boons. And now, in the beginning of this stanza, the sage says, "Varam deva moksham na moksha vadhim va." I do not want liberation or even the utmost limit of freedom, residence in Vaikuntha Loka. Nor have I any need for other such benedictions. Sri Satyavrata Muni prays, "O Bhagavan, you are the original Lord of all lords and the source of everything. Therefore, you are capable of granting all benedictions. Nothing is impossible for you. Although liberation is the cherished attainment of one who has realized the temporary nature of worldly existence and has consequently become detached, I have no need for the benediction of attaining liberation." There are five kinds of mukti described in the scriptures. Salokya, that's being on the same planet as the Lord. Samipya, that means being near to the Lord, being like one of the Lord's direct associates. Sarupya, that means having a form similar to the Lord's. Sarshti, that means having the same opulences as the Lord's. And Sayujya, that means merging into formless Brahman. What's the footnote say? Okay, sorry. So the definition of mukti is found in Sankhya Shastra. So this is a definition of mukti found in Sankhya Shastra. It says, "Atyantaki dukkha nivrittir eva mukti." Oh yeah, we see this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? When Mahaprabhu asked Gadadhar Pandit. Anyways, the final cessation of all forms of misery suffered during the endless cycle of birth and death is mukti. Resolving to permanently end their suffering, some people aspire for Sayujya Mukti, merging into the impersonal feature of Brahma. This form of mukti is actually offensive and is fully opposed to bhakti. Previously, even the four Kumaras, Sri Sanak, Sri Sanandana, Sri Sanatan, and Sri Sanat Kumar, did this kind of mukti. And there's a footnote here. In Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad's Dig-darśinī-vṛtti, the prayer from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.15.49, beginning with Kaman Bhava, is spoken by the four Kumars during their first direct darshan of the Lord, Lord Narayan at the gates of Vaikuntha. Needless to say, by the time they spoke that prayer, they had long since abandoned their desire for Sayujya Mukti. Okay. However, as Sri Satyavrat Muni prays for his desired boon, he discards the goal of moksha, Sayuja Mukti, with the words Varam Deva Moksham. And with the words Na Moksha Vadhim Va, he expresses that he does not even want the unending concentrated happiness of residing in Vaikuntha, the ultimate limit of freedom. We should carefully consider the meaning of moksha vadhim. Unlike Sayuja Mukti, the other four kinds of mukti are not entirely unfavorable to bhakti. Those who accept these four kinds of mukti exist within the realm of Vaikuntha in classifications. In one class, Swa Sukaishwarya Uttara Moksha, the desire for one's own happiness and opulence predominates. Whereas in the other class, Prem Seva Uttara Moksha, one's longing to render loving service to Sri Bhagavan predominates over all other desires. Never understood that, actually. The Swa Sukaishwarya Uttara Moksha. Anyways, I guess, yeah. I think to get, I mean, no, I know this is I'm not arguing this, but yeah, I always just thought that to be able to go to Vaikuntha, you have to not have any desire for your own self, but only wanting the Lord's service. But yeah, anyways, there's two kinds of people in Vaikuntha. Those who long for Prem Sevottara Moksha never desire the inferior Swasukaishwarya Uttara Moksha. The example of the four Kumaras illustrates this. When the four Kumaras experienced the fragrance of the tulsi leaves that had been placed upon the lotus feet of Sri Narayan, they utterly abandoned their previous desires for impersonal liberation. They at once became Jnani Bhaktas, devotees who have knowledge of the Lord's absolute divinity, and began seeking after Prema Sevottara Moksha. Wait a second. Here we use sandhi and there we don't use a sandhi. We should be consistent. I personally think we should use sandhi, but I'm just not going to make that decision now. All right. Shuddha Bhaktas, however, have one pointed attachment for the loving service of Sri Krishna. They do not even aspire for Prem Sevottara Moksha, wherein some desire for one's own happiness still remains. When Sri Bhagavan offers such one-pointed devotees either of these classes of moksha, they never accept. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam 3:29-13, Sri Bhagavan says, Kapila Dev says, Diyamanam nagrinnanti vina mat sevanam jana. A pure devotee never accepts any kind of moksha, even if I personally offer it to him. His only desire is to engage in loving service to Sri Bhagavan. In the history of Vrittasura, narrated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vritrasura rejected all varieties of moksha and prayed to be able to render service to the lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan. This is an important verse. Nanaka prishtam napchaparameshtam nasarvabhomam narasadhipatyam na yoga siddhira punarbhavangva saman satva virahaya kankshe. One second, I just want to compare this to what am I doing? Naka. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just want to. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that it was the same. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 6:11-25. O ocean of all good fortune, apart from serving your lotus feet, I do not wish for anything. I do not wish to obtain the summit of heaven, Dhruva Loka, the Vaikuntha planet situated at the zenith of the material cosmos, nor the highest seat of power within the universe, that is the seat of Lord Brahma. Nor have I any desire for sovereignty over all the earth, nor sovereignty of all the planets down to Rasatala, which are flooding with sense enjoyment. I do not long for mastery over all the yoga siddhis, nor even for the end of repeated birth and death, moksha. In the same way, Sri Sattvavrata Muni is not even asking for a boon related to the utmost limit of moksha, residence in Vaikuntha. Siddhis, I think Siddhi will have, let me see, actually. Yeah, I thought so. Siddhis doesn't have a long I. Okay. Sorry. Where am I? Okay. Sorry. Sri Satyavrat Muni continues, Na cha anyam. Furthermore, I have no desire to obtain any other benediction. By the word anya, other in this phrase, Sri Satyavrat Muni implies, I do not even want the result of performing the 9 kinds of Vaidhi Navada Bhakti, hearing about Sri Bhagavan, Shravan, chanting his names, Kirtan, remembering him, Vishnu Smaran, serving his lotus feet, Pada Sevanam, worshipping him, Archana, praising him, Vandana, maintaining the attitude of serving him, Dasya, nurturing a friendship with him, Sakya, and abandoning and submitting one's very self to him, Atma Nivedan. His response astonishes Sri Krishna, who then asks, the 9-fold system of devotional service, Navada Bhakti, has been abundantly praised in the scriptures. Yet you do not want to accept even that? What then is your desire? Then Sri Satyavrat Muni utters his prayer. My only desire is that your form as little Bal Gopal manifests in my heart forever. That small cowherd boy who is afraid of his mother and who is looking here and there with fearful, suspicious eyes. And the phrase Vareshad apiha, Vara ishat api iha, the word iha means here, or in this place. Thus the sage is praying, may your form as a little cowherd boy, which is present here in Vrindavan, appear within my heart. I have no need for any other benediction besides this. The form of Bala Gopal will only appear in one's heart as a result of prem bhakti. Sadhaks who perform Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran of Sri Krishna do not care if they go to heaven or hell. Their only desire is to engage in cultivating prem bhakti under the guidance of Tattva Gya Rasik Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas who have realized the absolute truth and who are expert in realizing devotional emotion and relishing loving emotions. It is therefore said, Tanam Rupa Charitari Sukirtanano Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishtan Vrajetarανuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayed Akilam Ityupadesha Saram. Oh, I see some mistakes in this. Should be long A there. Oops. 1 second. Anyways. Whatever, I'm just going to highlight the whole word. And it's not Manasi with a long I. I don't think it should be a short I. Let me check. Oh no, it is a long I. Okay. Okay. Sorry guys. Now I need to stop apologizing. Okay. So this is verse 8, Upadeshamrita. So what is it? I just want to get the flow. So their only desire is to engage in cultivating prem bhakti under the guidance of a tattva gya rasik Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas who have realized the absolute truth and who are expert in relishing loving emotions. It is therefore said, this verse, the bhakti sadhaks should perform kirtan and smaran, remembrance of Sri Krishna's name, form, character, and pastimes. Thus, they should gradually engage their tongues and minds, withdrawing them from absorption in sense objects, which cause aversion to Sri Krishna. Residing in Vraj Mandal, they should follow in the footsteps of Sri Krishna's associates who have deep attachment for them and fully utilize every moment of their time like this. This is the essence of all teachings. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:58, Sri Uddhav says, Eta parang tanubrito bhuvi gopavadvo govinda eva nikalatmani rudha bhava vanchanti arbhavabhiyo munayo vayangcha kim brahma janmabhirananta katharasasya. The young wives of the Gopas embodied here on earth led the topmost lives because they have Mahabhav, our full-blown selfless love for Sri Govinda, the very soul of all. Their pure love is sought after by those sages who fear repeated birth and death, as well as by us. What is the use of being born even as Lord Brahma if one does not have any taste for hearing the nectarian descriptions of Sri Hari? Wow. Vritrasura also prays that he may gain the association of the Vaishnavas and claim bhakti under their guidance. Mamottama shloka janeshu sakyam sangsar chakre brahmata swakarmabhi tvanmaya yatmatmaja daragehesh vasakta chittasya nanata bhuyat. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 6:11-27. O Master of my life, I am not seeking liberation. I am not concerned if I must repeatedly roam about in this vicious circle of birth and death as a result of my actions. However, wherever I go, and in whichever species I take birth, please grant me the loving friendship of your dear devotees, for in their association I can cultivate prem bhakti. My Lord, I only pray that I will not have to mingle with those bewildered by your illusory potency, who are always attached to their bodies, homes, children, families, and so on. Although the position of Navada Bhakti is so elevated, Sri Satyavrat Muni has no desire for it. Why? Srila Sanatana Goswami reconciles this wonder. He explains that the fruit of one's practice of Navada Bhakti depends upon the nature of one's practice. When the 9 limbs of bhakti are performed according to Vaidhi Marg, the path of strict adherence to scriptural regulations based on fear, they enable the sadhak to attain Vaikuntha. On the other hand, when the same limbs of bhakti are performed in Rag Marg, the path of spontaneous love, they enable the sadhaks to reach the abode of Vrindavan, where they attain loving service to Sri Krishna. It is important to carefully understand the meaning of rag. Rag is defined as one's attraction to an object. If the soul's inherent capacity to be attracted is directed towards Sri Krishna, if he becomes the exclusive object of that attraction, it is called ragatmika bhakti. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad has defined ragatmika bhakti in the following verse. Ishte swarasiki raga paramavishtata bhavit tanmayin ya bhaver bhakti satra ragatmikodita. It's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1 to 272. Rag is the unquenchable loving thirst for the object of one's affection that in turn gives rise to spontaneous and intense absorption in that object. Devotion that is performed with such a rag is known as ragatmika bhakti. Spontaneous, intense absorption in the object of one's love is referred to as rag. And when Krishna Bhakti reaches the state of intense attachment, it is called Ragatmika Bhakti. Thus, in brief, Ragatmika Bhakti is the loving thirst for Sri Krishna. The topmost example of Ragatmika is found in the deeply loving emotions that the Vrajvasis feel for Sri Krishna. And devotion that is aimed at attaining the stage of Ragatmika Bhakti is called Raganuga Bhakti, Bhakti following in the wake of Ragatmika Bhakti. Since the devotion of one following in the Vaidhi Marg is dependent on the dictation of rules and regulations, it is weak. On the other hand, Raganuga Bhakti is entirely independent, and therefore it is powerful by nature. The topmost example of Anurag, incessant deep loving attachment for Sri Krishna, only exists in the hearts of the Vrajavasis. The devotee should meditate on the associates of his beloved Lord Sri Krishna, who have the same mood for which he aspires. Furthermore, he should remain absorbed in hearing, chanting, and remembering the names and pastimes of Sri Krishna and Vraj that are conducive to his own particular mood. Each devotee should reside in Vraj Mandal following the associate who shares his own favored mood, in the manner just described. Those who aspire for a mode of friendship with Sri Krishna should follow the footsteps of his companions such as Sridham and Subal. Those who desire to have parental affection for him should follow Sri Nanda and Sri Yashoda. And those who hanker for conjugal love with Sri Krishna should follow Sri Lalita, Sri Vishakha, and so on. Thus, each devotee, according to his own mood, should immerse himself in the pastimes of Sri Krishna and live in Braj. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad has outlined this process of bhajan in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-294 to 295. Krishnang smaram janam chasya. It should be janash chasya, right? Krishna smaram janash chasya. Yeah, that's a Sandhi rule. Let me just check. Sorry guys, I just Krishna smaram. Oops, did I misspell it? Oh, smaran. Oops. Huh. Anyways, I'll have to look this up. So Krishna smaram janam chasya preshtam nirja samihitam tat tat katarataschaso kuryadvasam vraje sada. The devotee should constantly remember Sri Krishna along with the dearmost associates of Sri Krishna, whom he chooses to follow. While permanently living in Vraj, he should become attached to always hearing about them. If one is unable to live in Vraj by body, then one should live in Vraj by mind. Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi tarbhava lipsuna karya vrajalokanusarataha. He who is, and that last part was in parentheses, it's not in the verse news. He who has developed greed for Ragatmika Bhakti should closely follow in the footsteps of the particular associates in Vraj whose moods he aspires for. Under their guidance, he should engage in service both in his external form as a sadhak and internally with his perfected spiritual body. If the sadhak longs to attain the fully blossomed, mature state of prem, he should take to heart the instructions of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. This is from Manashiksha verse 3. Yadi cheravasam vrajabhuvi saragam pratijanur yuvatvandvam tachet paricharitumara dabhilashe sarupam shri rupam saganamihatasya grajamapi sputam premna nityam smaranamatadatam shrinumanam. If you wish to live in the land of Raj birth after birth, and if you crave the chance to perform direct service to the eternally youthful divine couple in their parakiya affairs, full of rag, then, my dear friend, Listen to me. Realize deep love for Sri Sarup Damodar, Sri Rupa Goswami, his older brother Sri Sanatan Goswami, and all their associates. Remember them for all eternity and offer your obeisance to them in adoration. My dear minds, please listen to me. It is thus clear that attaining Vraj Bhakti is only possible by being under the guidance of the Vrajavasis. This is the opinion of the Acharyas. One second, just this. Oh yeah, the what is it? Swasukaishvarya moksha and prem what is it? Prem Sebotara moksha. Yeah, I've never fully understood that part. Um, but yeah, it is interesting. Someone who wants Vraj Bhakti will hear and chant according to his own specific mood. The following mantra, for example, enables devotees of all moods to relish the names especially dear to them. According to their specific ras, devotees will cherish one name in particular within this mantra. So this mantra has all different rasas in it. And so for the devotees in different rasas, they'll give more emphasis to different parts. Shri Krishna Gopala Hare Mukunda Govinda He Nanda Kishora Krishna Shri Yashoda Tanaya Prasida Shri Vallabhi Jivana Radhikesha. That's from Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita 247. Shri Krishna, Gopal, Hari, Mukunda, Govinda, O youthful son of Nanda, O darling son of Shri Yashoda, be pleased with me. O life of the gopis, O master of Shri Radhika. Right, Gopal Kumar was singing this prayer, even though he's in Sakyaras. So one should engage in Shravanam and Kirtanam, but that Shravanam and Kirtanam should be names, form, and qualities of Shri Krishna that are in relation to his pastimes and Vraj. And it should be performed while under the guidance of Rupanuga Vaishnavas, followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. Bal Gopal, Yashoda's darling son in Vraj, can only be attained by this process. He can never be attained by performing the limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti. Sri Satyavrat Muni rejects the results of Vaidhi Navada Bhakti. When the form of Bal Gopal manifests in one's heart, what else is there to attain? If one has achieved the abode of Vrindavan and the association of exalted Rasik Vaishnavas, the residents of Vraj, one's performance of Shravan and Kirtan in such association will naturally result in the highest attainment, and all of one's cherished desires will be fulfilled. Srila Haridas Thakur chanted 300,000 holy names every day. Consequently, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself awarded him the title Namacharya, the most exemplary teacher of chanting the holy name. Although Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, and Sri Das Goswami also performed bhajan, it is not written anywhere that they regularly chanted this many holy names. Srila Haridas Thakur's chanting and the chanting of the Goswamis each has their own unique speciality. In a similar sense, the descriptions exhibited by Lakshmi Devi and the love exhibited by Srimati Radhika by Srivas Pandit, the crown jewel of the devotees, and Mahaprabhu's intimate associate, Srivas Pandit, who is the crown jewel of devotees and Mahaprabhu's intimate associate. So his description of the love exhibited by Lakshmi Devi and by Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, who explains the love exhibited by Srimati Radhika, they each have their own unique specialities. At the time, sorry guys, I'm having a hard time reading. At the time of the Rath Yatra festival, Srivas Pandit tried to establish the glories of Lakshmi Devi's love for the Lord. But in response, Sri Swarup Damodar established the supremacy of the love of his own Swamini, Srimati Radhika. It is also seen that when Pradyumna Mishra came to Jagannath Puri, Sriman Mahaprabhu sent him to hear Krishna Katha from Sri Rai Ramananda, not from Śrīla Haridas Thakur, even though he was present in Puri at the time. Śrīla Haridas Thakur is a combined form of Sri Brahma and Sri Prahlad, and his chanting of the holy name is absolutely pure. However, in any consideration, the particular moods or bhavs of the Vaishnavas are always the main factor in determining their exalted positions. Everything depends on mood. Sri Prahlad Maharaj is a Gyani Bhakta, and he can never ascend beyond Vaikuntha. Although those with a thirst for Vraj Bhakti offer their deepest respects to the bhajan performed by Śrīla Haridas Thakur, they always choose to follow Śrīla Rupa Goswami, Śrīla Sanatana Goswami, and Śrīla Raghunath Das Goswami. That means like following complete ways. Because of course we follow Haridas Thakur, but we completely follow Śrīla Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. These topmost Rasik Vrajvasi Goswamis always remained absorbed in Vraj Bhav, and in a mood of intense separation, they bathed in the nectarian ocean of Shri Krishna's Vraj pastimes, day and night. Our sole aim is to perform bhajan under their guidance. The following statement has been heard directly from the mouths of some bygone worshipful Vaishnavas. Bahiranga loya kore nama sankirtan, antaranga loya kore prema aswadan. In public, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform Nam Sankirtan, and privately, with his most intimate internal associates, he would relish Vraj Prem. Is that not in Chaitanya Charitamrita? I'll look this up later on. In the Gambhira, Sriman Mahaprabhu would relish Vraj Ras exclusively with Sri Swarup Damodar and Sri Rai Ramananda. These two most intimate associates of his would recite verses and songs according to his internal moods. Ay dina dayardra nata he, mathura nata kadavalokya se, hridayam tvar aloka kataram, daita bhikim karomyaham. That's Srila Madhavendra Puri, quoted from Sri Padyavali 334. O Master, your heart always melts because of your separation for the destitute. O Lord of Mathura, when will I see you again? O beloved Lord of my life, because I am hankering so fervently to see you, my heart has become intensely restless. What shall I do now? What shall I do now? He Deva, He Daita, He Bhuvanayaka Bandho, He Krishna, He Chapala, He Karunayaka Sindhu, He Nata, He Ramana, He Nayana Abhirama, Ha Ha Kadano Bhavitasi Padam Trishor Me. At Shri Krishna Karnamrita 40. I'm just joking. Sorry. Oh, my worshipful Lord, oh dearest one, you are the only friend of the entire universe. O Krishna, O restless one, you alone are the ocean of mercy. O my master, O my lover, O charmer of my eyes. Alas, alas, when will I behold your lotus feet? Only Sri Rai Ramananda and Sri Swarup Damodar could understand the deep meanings of these verses, and only they could console him when he was overwhelmed by the sharp pangs of his internal mood of separation from Krishna. In his commentary, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad has directly indicated the great importance and speciality of the moods of Raganuga Bhakti over those of Vaidhi Bhakti. We're so inconsistent with how we spell Raganuga Bhakti. The Rupanuga sadhaks should remember that our Goswamis are all Radha Pakshiya, those who identify themselves as being part of Sri Radha's intimate group. They are only pleased when Sri Krishna becomes so absorbed in thinking about Sri Vrishabhanu Nandini, Sri Radha, that his darkish complexion becomes golden like hers. Radha chintani veshena yasya kantir vilopita Shri Krishna charanam vande Radha lingita vigraham. That's Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Tattvashtakam, verse 3. When Srimati Radhika was in Man, Shri Krishna, in the mood of intense separation from her, became so completely immersed in thinking about her that his own darkish complexion became golden like hers. I adore the lotus feet of that most glorious form of Sri Krishna. The sadhak should develop an intimate relationship with his guru. He should have such profound affection for his guru's external sadhak form as well as for his internal siddha, his perfected form. He becomes, he should have such profound affection for those forms that he becomes intensely attached to him. His attachment should be similar to the natural worldly attachment one ordinarily has for well-wishing relatives or close friends. This type of natural relationship with one's guru is called lokik sadbandhuvat sambandha. Should be sadbandhuvat. The sadhak should accept that it is his guru alone who can fulfill all his most cherished spiritual desires. That is the only way he can enter into Rupa Nuga Bhajan. There is no other way. I need to read everything because I'm doing a proofread right now. So, Rupa Nuga Vaishnavas are those who follow in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. The internal devotional service they perform in accordance with Srila Rupa Goswami's teachings is called Rupa Nuga Bhajan. So there is no other way. Sriman Mahaprabhu instructs sadhaks who are inclined towards this high class of bhajan. Trinarapi sunichena tauru api sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. Okay, that's Sri Shikshastak 3. In every respect, the sadhak should see himself as more lowly and helpless than the most insignificant trampled blade of grass, and becoming even more tolerant than a tree, expecting no honor for himself, he should give due respect to all. In this way, the sadhak should always perform Harinam Sankirtan. During his pastimes in Dwarka, Sri Krishna himself exemplified this instruction of Sri Gaur Hari. In one incident in particular, his conduct exemplifies this instruction. That incident goes like this. Once Durvasa Rishi arrived in Dwarka. Durvasa literally means he who subsists solely on the juice from durva grass. Oh, I didn't know that. At that time, Sri Krishna was sitting in his palace. As soon as Durvasa Rishi arrived before Sri Krishna, he exclaimed, "I am very hungry. Make arrangements to feed me." However, the moment his meal was ready, he went away. At midnight, he suddenly returned